r/AskReddit. What's the closest you've ever been to death? Story 1. I got a severe ear infection that spread to my skull and neck. Was told it was an extremely rare case that had only happened once before in Canada, in the 90s apparently, and the guy died. I got told the infection was extremely close to the main artery running up through my neck and up into my brain, so meningitis and brain damage were hugely possible. I got told surgery was the only way, but it was extremely high risk and had a 90% mortality rate. I fully accepted that I was probably going to die and more or less said my goodbyes. The consultant changed her mind on surgery in the last half an hour before it was due and took a gamble on a ridiculous combination of antibiotics. It worked, and I'm still alive. Half deaf in one ear, but still here. Story 2. One evening, I get temperature 41 plus and violent diarrhea / vomiting. I could not leave bathroom on my own. So called ambulance and went to hospital. They treated temperature symptom first, and I asked to measure my pulse. I had heart condition that made it overclock sometimes, so they hook me up to the machine and it shows 250. The look on Doc's face, though, she rushed away and brought someone else. That person gave me something and said that it will help. The gradual change of expression while there was no change at all on the monitor. That person went away and brought someone else with 2 syringes. She explained, I will inject this one first, and when I inject second one, your job is to stay conscious. Ready? So, after second injection monitor, instantly shows 50 and I start drifting away. I remember their voices speaking to me to make sure I do not pass out completely. Later, the initial doc said that I scared the shit out of them. Story 3. The short story is, about 20 years ago, I was on a work night out in York, England. The group were camping close to an old decommissioned runway as seen on Top Gear UK. After the night out, I came back to the camp in a taxi, steaming drunk. I asked if I could stop for a wee at the side of the country lane. My colleagues thought it would be hilarious to leave me stranded. I walked back to camp cutting across the previously mentioned runway and passed out. Meanwhile, my boss at the time thought it would be funny to see how quick his new BMW M3 would get to 100 miles per hour, and decided to utilize the runway to find out, just like Top Gear. You can see where this is going. I woke up to the sound of screeching tires and the smell of petrol as my eyes opened. The bumper of an M3 was directly above my face and the tire an inch from my head. Thank you BMW for providing such an outstanding braking system. Story 4. When I was 11, my brother's sister and I were visiting my grandparents in Pennsylvania. They lived near this hiking trail with a waterfall. We went on the hiking trail unsupervised, and my older brother ditched early into it by going off the trail through a not-so-steep hill. My little brother and I hike for 20 or so minutes and get bored and try to leave the same way the older brother did, only this time we're much higher up and there's about a 50-foot cliff with rocks at the bottom of it. Thankfully, someone grabbed my little brother by the shirt as he was sliding, and I grabbed a tree no less than 7 or 8 feet from the edge and zigzagged my way back up. Had a stranger not grabbed my brother nor myself, the tree, we'd have been toast. Story 5. In my 20s, after a couple of years dealing with depression, I finally decided to end it all. I chose the date exactly 20 days forward and met every person that I loved for the last time. Finally, the day arrived and I was finally happy. I did all the routines for the day and then finally went to bed for the thing. I won't go into the details because it can be harmful for people reading this. After 1 minute of struggling and passing the body spasms phase, I was so close to getting to the void, but at the last milliseconds of going unconscious, I chose to live and made a tear on the bag. Although I always feel ashamed of this incident in my 20s, I know that I needed that moment of the choice to live or die. Please wait and seek help if you have the same feelings as I did in my 20s.